Our top focus, facing immense uproar from all corners over the gruesome rapes in Unnao and Kathua, the Modi government is likely to make amendments to the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act, also known as POCSO, to provide maximum punishment of death penalty for raping children less than 12 years. A crucial cabinet meet on the rape law is underway as we speak. The Ministry of Women and Child Development has also filed an affidavit before the Supreme Court in this regard. The Union Minister of Women and Child Development, Maneka Gandhi, has asked for death penalty for rapists. POCSO Act was passed in 2012 to protect children from offences of sexual assault and sexual harassment. At present, there is no provision for capital punishment in POCSO. Here's what Maneka Gandhi had to say.
I have been deeply disturbed by the rape case in Kathua and all the recent rape cases that have happened on children. I and the Ministry intend to bring an amendment to the POCSO Act asking for the death penalty for rape on children below 12 years.
And joining us live from outside the Prime Minister's residence is Maushami. Also joining me live is Trisha Shetty. She's the founder and CEO of She Says. Maushami, a quick word from you first. This seems to be more of a political move than a social need of the hour, especially after the pressure that the government has faced after the Unnao and the Kathua rapes.
That's right, Vedika. Let me tell you that about 11:30 the cabinet meeting has already started. We're right outside the Prime Minister's residence at 7 Lok Kalyan Marg. And right now the Prime Minister with his cabinet would be actually mulling over the ordinance that he is going to bring about as far as an amendment in the POCSO Act 2012 is concerned. Now, as you said, there is a lot of political pressure. People are out on the streets, and like you cited, there have been many rape cases even after the Kathua and Unnao rape case where minors have been raped. So this is the need of the hour, and more so for the Modi government, whose image has taken a very bad beating because remember, it was Prime Minister Narendra Modi, while campaigning during the Lok Sabha elections, made it very clear that women's safety and security was a priority for his party if they came into power. And that's one reason why the opposition has been cornering the government more so ever, as BJP leaders have been involved in protecting and supporting the accused, specifically in the Kathua rape case, and a BJP MLA involved in the Unnao rape case. So clearly, Vedika, the government is doing it more as a political dire consequence, a need of the hour to redeem itself from the entire beating its image has taken in the past 2-3 weeks.
We also believe that on Friday, the central government has submitted to the Supreme Court a letter in this regard. What does that letter state, Maushami?
Now remember, Vedika, when we went on asking all these women ministers who otherwise are championing women causes and had been seen protesting on streets during the Nirbhaya rape case, there was a strong studded silence among even from the likes of Smriti Irani. And so when the Women and Child Development Ministry actually went ahead giving an affidavit, it was only natural for the government to actually go ahead and give that affidavit, and Maneka Gandhi made it amply clear that they were pressing for death penalty for raping minors below the age of 12. Now that is the more stringent most punishment that the government is actually mooting for, and an ordinance in that light is going to come into effect if the government gives a green signal right here in the cabinet meeting.
Do stay with me. Trisha is also joining us live. Trisha, quick word on the move today of amending the POCSO Act. Do you agree with this amendment, or do you think that this should be for an age beyond 12?
I actually do not agree with the amendment. Look, what happened in Kathua is unacceptable. It's an act of extreme depravity, and that definitely does fall under the category of rarest of rare cases for which death sentence is to be mandated and given. But, you know, if you look beyond outrage and reactionary measures and look at the statistics on ground, let me tell you, based on NCRB data, because I've come with numbers, I think it's important for people to not react from place of outrage and high emotions.
Which we're flashing on our screens,
and understand that the government here is abdicating their duty by asking for an amendment in.
Yes, go ahead.
So the numbers is, as of according to NCRB, 1,115 cases reported in Gujarat out of which 1,109 were cases of child being raped, were known, the perpetrator was known to the child, out of which 6 fall under the category of brother, grandfather, dad, son, and 34 fall under the category of close family. In Karnataka, out of the 1,073 cases reported, 1,045 cases were known to the child, out of which 44 fell under the brother, grandfather, dad, son category, and 43 fell under close family category. Even in Haryana, 5 cases of brother, son, dad category, 6 cases of close family. So, you know, when we're talking about child sexual abuse, especially child rape cases, we have to remember that over 99% of these cases are by someone perpetrated on the child very close, in their close immediate circle. So that is a statistic and that is a fact. We have to also account for how much are we endangering our children under the garb of making them safe. Death penalty has never been proven to stop rapes or serve as a deterrent.
Trisha, I'll just hold on to that thought. I'm coming back to you because we have the Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry on the phone line with us, Kiran Bedi. Ms. Bedi, a quick question to you. Today we perhaps will see an ordinance passed where there will be an amendment in the POCSO Act. Now my question to you is, do you agree with the age bracket that the ministry is talking about, that the centre is talking about, till 12 years death penalty for the child rapist?
I don't think, I think law needs both respect and fear. So when we raise the fear, it certainly is a deterrent when we raise the fear. Similarly, when we raise the respect, it certainly is prevention. So we need to do both, respect and fear. And I think this is raising the fear. Yes, there will be always two schools of thought, whether it will work or not. But the question is that law is for both respect and also to be feared. And this is raising the fear.
But Ms. Bedi, do you think that just making an amendment in the POCSO Act is really going to help? Rape is rape at the end of the day.
I'm exactly answering that. As I say, law is both to be respected and feared. So if we raise the quotient of fear, it will have its impact. But if we continue to respect for law, but also not equally afraid, more than that, along with respect, fear and certainty, I think the certainty must come within 3 months. This trial must finish in 3 months, and that person must leave. I mean, rather than keeping him in the prison for life, let him go.
Yes.
The fear must go. So I think there will be a school of thought which says, no, spare him. It doesn't work. I think it does. The question is, you have to be afraid of the law, and you also must be trained to respect the law. So we need to also raise, what all should we do to raise respect for law? Also, what should we do to be making people aware of the law? What should we do to make people afraid of the law? And punishment must be certainty within a very limited time, within the immediate memory of the case.
So what did you suggest then, Ms. Bedi? Because as a woman today, I feel there should be fast-track courts only to hear rape cases, which is not there for women in this country. What are the options that we really have? I understand getting this law passed, this ordinance passed in the POCSO Act. But, you know, there are women who are raped every day. What about justice for them? They either, you know, face this harassment in police stations, or when they go to court, these cases go on for years. They're intimidated. This is just the beginning of the kind of action we need to take.
That is exactly what I said, the speed of law. So therefore and also prevention. Why should we not make also parents responsible for the kind of upbringing they're bringing? What kind of boys are they contributing to society? It requires equally a very mass movement of social reform, but nobody other than elected representatives themselves. In fact, if they can go about seeking support for their re-election, why should this not be part of their social reform? If they are asking votes, what are they asking votes for? There must be social reformers as well. So we need to, because it is they who are communicating with the people on a daily basis, not police officers. They're not making speeches. Those people who are making speeches and have a larger reach out to the community must also be talking about the social reform and parenting. See, we need to work on prevention. That's why I'm saying raise all aspects which raises respect for law, all aspects which raises fear of law, and the fear of law includes certainty of punishment with speed.
My last question to you, Ms. Bedi, before I let you go is, these cases also languish in court, and there's a very small percentage really of those who are convicted, and this in fact acts as a deterrence to those survivors of rape who really want to go and get these men booked?
That is why it would be good if we have special courts exclusively for these, so that there's a certainty of punishment, speed, because witnesses then don't have to go on. And we put in even legal processes where there has to be a day-to-day trial. That means more courts, more engagement of magistrates, more judicial budgets, more prosecution, and also maybe more investigators. So we need to put aside this kind of budgeting so that there immediately resources are available.
All right, Ms. Bedi, thank you for sparing time and speaking to us on this extremely pressing issue. Coming back to you, Trisha, you've just heard Ms. Bedi. She seems to be for this amendment that hopefully will take place today. But my question really is rape at the end of the day. Today we're seeing this ordinance, hopefully that will be passed in the coming hours. But what about the other women? I mean, I'm talking about children above the age of 12. I'm talking about women who face harassment and sexual exploitation and rape. What about them?
Look, I think all our concerns are definitely at the right place. No one here is, defending the human rights of the rapists and those who are coming out in protest defending rapists. No, we are all concerned about children and women's safety, which, let's be honest, let's face the facts, women and children in our country are not safe, then be it in their homes or on the streets or outside. So what do we do to make sure that we can invest our resources into our judiciary systems to strengthen the infrastructure? What can we do to make sure that money is actually invested into fast-track courts such that cases are tried within a speedy period? Currently, fast-track courts are not just even those that were set up solely to hear women's issues are also trying other cases. They are overburdened, so they are not fulfilling their mandate of trying cases within a stipulated period of time. Under the POCSO, Section 35 clearly states that cases must be tried within 1 year. But how can a case be tried when charge sheet is not filed on time? How can a case be tried when forensic lab reports that are supposed to process the rape kit, that's supposed to provide mandatory medical evidence, which is one of the crucial elements of convicting a perpetrator in a rape case of a child, those take months. Sometimes it goes up to a year to even produce those evidence to court. So when we ask for measures, we have to understand what are the current systems in place and where are the lapses in the system. And that's what, as activists, people working on ground, we're trying to highlight. Saying asking for a death sentence is not going to make our children any safer. Look at the current systems. Let's make sure that the 27% abysmal conviction rate that we have, how can that go up? Our conviction rate is not this low because there are cases that are not right. It's because evidence is not being filed properly. It's because the
because these victims are being intimidated.
Support through and through, and they lose morale and hope, and cases get dragged on for years.
Yes. And all right, Trisha, give me a moment here because there are more reactions coming in from the BJP.
We need schools and still.
Yes, we just need to get in a few more reactions that we've got. Let's just play out some of the BJP reactions on this very pressing issue.
यहाँ प्रस्ताव पारित करें कि दुराचारी को फांसी की सजा दी जाए, और ये प्रस्ताव पारित करने के लिए दोनों हाथों पर उठा के दोनों मुट्ठी बांध के भारत माता की जय बोले। भारत माता की। गांव-गांव से, शहर-शहर से ये आवाज उठनी चाहिए, प्रस्ताव पारित होने चाहिए, जाना चाहिए। अब देश सोच रहा है, और मुझे लगा जो मध्य प्रदेश ने किया है वो हिंदुस्तान पूरा करेगा। हम ऐसे नराधमों को बर्दाश्त नहीं करेंगे।
इन सबको जरूर हमारी सरकार देखकर इन सबका निवारण जरूर करेगी, क्योंकि बच्चियों को हिफाजत देना बहुत बहुत ज़रूरी है। हर स्कूल में हर माँ बाप को भी उसके लिए अपना ध्यान रखना चाहिए। इसके ऊपर ज़रूर ध्यान दिया जाएगा। ये ऐसा जो हादसा हो रहा है ये नहीं होना चाहिए हमारे देश में। इसकी वजह से हमारे देश का भी नाम खराब होता है।
See, the Honorable Prime Minister has very clearly stated that those who are victim and the family, they will definitely get justice. And those who are rapists, they must face the law of the land. Even if somebody does that, this kind of heinous crime, then they should not go unpunished, and their punishment should be exemplary so that they can deter other people to make such kind of crime.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.